All right, today is an important milestone. We are done putting concrete in the house. And so what's next? Time for some wood. Framing crew saw over at Chris's. I had them go ahead and just send a couple guys over. Got the time lapse going, of course, and I'll check in periodically. You know, English ain't my strong language. So anyway, every once in a while I'll check in and see what's going on. All right, back with some more voiceover action. Felt like everybody liked that, and it does let me do what I need to do, which is try and explain things but still be able to record, because unfortunately, most everything going on, I'm not able to just take time away and narrate, while I'm recording. So this is a real nice option. Anyway, so they're here, starting to lay out the stairs, and I really like using this crew. So the main guy, I haven't really interviewed him. Maybe I'll try and do that, but he was out at Chris's. He runs 5 different crews, and each crew has, a specialty. Like you got a framing crew, you got a crew that just does decks and things like that, and et cetera, et cetera. Well, these guys are really good at just figuring it out. Like at Chris's, there was no, real set of drawings. There was just a sketch, basically, of what he wanted, and they made it happen. So that's kind of, the crew he sent me, which is, I appreciate. Because the stairs, all we really know about the stairs is where they're going to come down and where they need to go to. And, the way it was engineered originally, there was supposed to be a platform that had to get framed up at the top stairs that would be wood, which would just not really work out with the rest of the aesthetics of the concrete floor and everything. So they said they're going to take care of it. And as we watch, I guess we'll see if they do. So what's happening here is we're actually going to be liquid nailing the bottom plate to the concrete instead of shooting it in because of all the radiant. So you see he's making his little line there, laying the boards out. Then once this stuff dries up, plus the weight of the wall, it's not going anywhere. And it's just safer for our radiant. A lot of ciphering and figuring. So there's a little closet under the stairs too, so they're figuring where that's going. Well, they rolled on through it a little bit. You see, hear my echo. Echo! Once we get all this spray foam, you won't hear that too bad anyway. So anyway, put 2 little walls here. This is going to be a door. There's a little closet under the stairs. Stairs come down there. Then they'll figure out divide it. Basically, we're divided in half. Put the platform going up to up there. All right, more ciphering and figuring. This is actually the next day. Trying to do the calculations on the stringers, how many steps. Some of the questions you have to ask yourself at this point are, besides, why did I ever do this? But the questions you have to ask is, what are the steps going to be finished in? Are they getting hardwood? Are they getting just like a laminate? Are they getting carpet? Whatever. That determines, the height of the riser. So this is where math is important. That's the sharpest curve we did in the house. There's 3 of those for anyone that hasn't been watching since the beginning. That's the stairwell, obviously. So they're bringing in everything to build our platform now. So you're going to see that they're going to put, oh, there I am, wood and support on the back as well. They could have just lagged it into the concrete and been fine too. No real reason not to go the little extra mile right here though, where we have the ability to put the extra support in. When we go up to the attic, the next set of stairs, we won't have that luxury, I don't believe. So we'll see what happens with that. But anyway, there's our special curved piece that he made. Curved piece of, oh, I see what happened. I was wondering where that little piece came from. It broke when it hit the wall. He cut it to make it curved, but it's okay. It all goes in against the wall and all gets glued down and shot into the concrete, so into the wall, the concrete wall. So, end of the day, it serves its function. All right. There's those wood pickets I was talking about for the back. Brought my buddy David over to check things out. He's thinking about doing some stamped concrete, wanted to see how it looked. There we go. There's the top board for those pickets he just put in against the wall. So now that they have that in there, because they actually build they build an actual floor. So first they put down the pickets and then the little curved top plate, and now they do he did a curved 2x12 for the back wall. Now they're gonna, build a complete wooden platform there. Oh, there's Brian. So I think that was the day we moved the containers, if you saw the video where we did that. See, he's gonna build the next stringer going up, and then he's gonna build a wall in there, part of the closet there. All kinds of fun stuff. Look at that. I walked halfway up the stairs. Oh, looks like oh, that's right. I made a video and sent it to the girls so they could see it. I didn't post that one on shorts. I wanted everybody to kind of see it. Yeah, I didn't turn the camera around. So he's just putting his board to nail the stringers to. They're doing any last little adjustments there to make sure that fits. 3 stringers. See the way they built that out. Yes, they work pretty well together. Kind of roll through things. All the stringers are treated 2x12s. So I've got a grandfather clock. It's been in my family for a long, long time. In fact, I need to call my last remaining living uncle and ask him the whole story behind it. I know it's old, and I know whenever I was in my grandparents' house when I was a kid, it was in there ding-donging away, top of the hour and all that stuff. But my cousin had gotten it, but when she passed away, they thought it should come to me. So I've got it. Needs a little bit of restoration, but it's wrapped up. I think it's going to sit right there on the platform, or it may just sit on the platform going to on the next platform. I don't know which one, but I'm going to put it to use. It's at least 75 years old, but I think it's older than that. I think it was in my great-grandfather's house in Sandwich, Massachusetts. Oh, look, I went up the stairs for the first time. Did y'all catch that? Man, that was so great. I felt so nice. It's the little things, guys. It really is. I mean, all the hard work, the sweat, the blood, the tears, the money, all that is, adds up. But it's little moments of, milestones and excitement and, just thinking about where things are going and stuff that makes it worth it. So they're now going to just fill in that little gap and build that out. So whenever it rains, you saw he had the blower out there. We still get a lot of water in the basement, unfortunately. That's due to coming in through the stairwell opening as well as the vents and things upstairs. We've been lucky. We've had a run of dry weather, but I'm sure that's not going to last. I'll probably box in behind, you see underneath the platform when you go into that little closet, there's all that area under the stairs. I'll probably box that in a little differently at some point into a little scuttle hole to, another place to shove crap that I think I need that I'll never see again. But it might be a good spot for it. So now that that's pretty much wrapped up, I'm going to continue on around with the wall to the mechanical room and those areas over on that side, popping their string lines. A couple things we changed. That's me looking and ciphering and figuring and deciding to change things up, of course. And what I did is on the plans, that wall was going to be a 2x4 wall, and you would have a little bump out where each of the columns were. But instead, I had a bunch of 2x8s left over because I just ordered an entire unit of them when I built Chris's A-frame because we didn't know how much it was going to take, so I had a bunch left. I ended up making that wall into a 2x8 wall, and so it just swallows up the columns. We won't see those at all. When you've got so much room, the rec room is massive. So taking 4 inches away in that wall just didn't matter in this room at all. So we're kind of talking about that. But I brought the laser out, want to see where it would land because we had to move it completely a little bit more towards the rec room So we took 4 inches away from the rec room and we added a couple inches into the kitchenette and hallway there. Look, see, I'm holding the plans up because he had to keep going to the plans. I was like, here, let me make myself useful and do something. So I held the plans. They could just look at them and read off the dimensions as they went. And I'm looking at that one too. And that one had me perplexed for a little bit. I was like, what happened here? Why? I was thinking that the radiant manifolds got put way off, but that wall is not a straight wall. It comes from the far wall where you see the little pipe stubbed out on the right of your screen, and it comes down towards that column, and then it steps in 4 inches and runs again. So it's an offset wall. So everything was where it was supposed to be. Here again, I did that one with 2x8 also to hold all my manifolds and just have everything in place. And the end result was losing, actually that was a 2x6 wall to begin with. So I went 2x8s. I lost 2 inches in the pantry and 2 inches in the breakfast area. Little adjustments I could make and it worked out better. I'll show you at the end of the video. I'm going to do a walkthrough of everything. I guess I stopped doing my job. Oh, there I am. And it begins trying to decide how we want to finish the walls. We originally planned to do a lot of the basement in brick. But, we ended up with so much brick outside. I feel like these rooms over here will just be, we might try this stuff out. It's called microplaster. I don't know if any of you have experience with it. Brian's wife's been talking to me about it on their house. And you can actually apply it right to the ICF. So I might get some of it in just to test. Maybe I'll test it in one of the mechanical rooms or something where it won't matter. But for these areas on the left and right side, we're going to build in a false ceiling. So those rooms get 8-foot ceilings. And then the center part, all the massive rec room and all that will all be open ceiling. So after we spray foam the metal deck, which is going to do insulation for our main floor radiant, so it'll be on the back side of all that. Once we spray foam that, I'm going to go in there and paint the whole ceiling, probably a dark charcoal. We've got to get a couple colors, decide what we want, but it'll stay open. The ductwork in the rooms will be flex, but all the ductwork in the rec room is going to be hard duct. It's going to have like an industrial kind of feel to it. That's kind of where we're going with maybe doing a little bit of brick. We'll see. Sketching out and building the hallway now. So you see kind of where that's going to start. That'll take you down. There's the bathroom, kind of where the fan is sitting right now. And then there's a den down there where that double window is. Oh yeah, looking at the pantry, trying to decide how it's going to lay out. We almost talked about not putting a pantry in this room, but the kitchenette's already so big, it was like, well, might as well have it. It can be overflow storage. I see it not really getting perishables in it, so it'd be more, summer food, like when we're really using the pool and everything, like chips and, your plates, napkins, all that kind of stuff. So normally you would just, pop your lines, build your walls on the ground, then fold them up, raise them up. But since we're gluing the bottom boards down, just kind of laying everything out first, getting it cut, getting it ready, then the liquid nail it all down, and then just kind of building it in place. So if you look through the windows, you see the scaffolding set up. That's because Casey and his guys are back doing brick. So currently, unless something gets in the way, they're going to stay until it's done, kind of ready to get that off our plate. And which reminds me, as I'm sitting here doing this voiceover, I probably should go ahead and finish putting any lights and everything in place. And I've got to go ahead and put you'll see little holes in the brick we left all around, and that's where we're going to put exterior outlets. Jackie is a really big Christmas decorator, so lots of outdoor plugs. So yeah, there's a little bit of work for me to start doing. Gotta stop slacking. Been super busy over at the other project, so. Time to put that wall together. So he kind of calls out what the lengths are. Juan's out there cutting. So you see he'll put them through the window, then he's got time to help carry it in, and then they're going to put the top plate up. Get that ready, and they'll shoot one on each end. Basically picture frame it in. Well, I guess they got some in the middle too. So the doorway into the kitchenette is a cased opening, but it's going to have an arch. Which, you know, they didn't build my arch yet. I just thought about that. I need to go mention that to them. Actually, they're out here now finishing up. Make sure they build that. So Jackie will be happy. So this part's just a lot of rinse and repeat. So he makes his little makeshift scaffolding there. So actually, once they start shooting the boards in like they're doing now, probably just going to really speed it up so you can just watch all those pop in. Oh, we got a wall. Look at that. This is going to have an arch. This is a cased opening. So you'll come through here, and then you're in the kitchenette, which is massive. Of course, that's a pantry over there. Fridge will be there, then counter space. I mean, it'll start to close in as stuff actually goes in here. Over here is this was originally a cased opening, but it's going to be a door now that leads back down this hallway to the den in the back corner. And instead of having a bathroom that comes off the den, the bathroom's going to be in the hallway, which goes in there. And then that's, of course, the shower and everything. And then that's all the mechanical room. See how big that thing is now, too. Which door will be over here. The original plans had the door over here, but this is where the unit's going to sit that feeds all this stuff. And we got stairs. We got our little closet. We got our stairs now. I think I've already done this, but I actually took all this and connected the little deal today. This is it's okay. So I went ahead and put that brace back on there, but yeah. And now we got our safety railing up. We got stairs. And yeah, it's pretty cool. It's gonna be pretty awesome. I like keeping this open. We had a couple conversations about this being a wall that went all the way up. In fact, I think the original plans, just the way the architect drew it, had a door there. And all this is walled, but we're making it all open. Of course, there'll be a half wall or a railing there, and this gets a wall. So these sides get a wall, but this is open coming in. So it'll go all the way up to the top, and you'll have some decorative beams and stuff you see. So you can sit down here, and it goes pretty far up. That's not the highest one, though. There's one that will be built out of wood, and it's 37 feet, so it's a little higher than this one, but not much. So that's pretty cool, I think. Right now, I think it's cool. We'll see how I feel about it when it's done. They'll be back tomorrow, build these walls. I need to get down here, and maybe I'll go ahead and do this. Where the radiant is, I can take that bracket off now because those are obviously concreted in. And we're just going to build a 24 by 24 box that I'll have a quick access to. Let's keep on keeping on. All right, as you see, we've switched views now. We're still looking, we're looking kind of, as soon as you walk into the basement, we're looking towards the corner now where the den and the bath are going. So they're framing up the bath wall, working on that. If you look to the center of the screen at the bottom there where the white pipe's sticking up, that's where I was talking about earlier with the offset wall. It kind of runs into the pantry and then shifts over. That's why I was panicking to begin with. I was like, man, I'm not putting a 2 by 12 wall here to hide this, but then figured it out. Yes, they keep rinse and repeat, working like a good team. So that is the wall into the mechanical room. Jackie had me put a door in there. So there, you'll see out in the rec room when I do the walkthrough, there's the door that goes into it. And she wanted a door from the hallway as well in case we ever make this into some sort of like in-law suite or anything like that. We would have a place to close, or I could separate that into a small closet or something if we ever wanted to. I'm gonna box out. You'll see I cut all the radiant back to about 2 feet, so they're gonna box it out for me, and then I'll have room to put the manifold in there. In fact, I'll probably go ahead and get the basement manifolds hooked up sooner rather than later. Wintertime coming, might go ahead and see if I can get the radiant system running, because it's not really dependent. Ultimately, the system we're going to have will be dependent on the main units being set and everything, because they're going to offload into the pond. However, for now, I could put an instant water heater in there and just run it just to make it a little more comfortable to work and everything. So we'll see. I may do that. So I'll probably put radiant in the garage when we build it, which will happen sometime next year. So it wouldn't be a waste for me to buy some instant water heaters, because I probably won't put a geothermal unit in there. It'll probably just be kind of a typical instant heat deal, because we won't keep it blazing. It'll just be comfortable. It'll keep things from freezing up, and I'll build and measure and getting around that column. So at the end of all this, there's 3 columns in the basement. You'll see the original drawings would have only seen 1, but the other 2 are in area that were supposed to be storage. So the storage was supposed to be like half the basement. But when we deleted the second floor and moved the kids' room into where the garage was, there was also a game room on the second floor, so we moved it downstairs, and just made sense. I mean, we kept about this close to the same heated square footage, but we saved about, I don't even know, 400 or 500 grand, something like that. It was a lot. So, I'll spend some of that money when I build the garage, but not that much. So I felt like it was well worth it. We'll see if we still feel that way in the end once we're actually moved in. So they're completing the pantry wall, close that in. Let's move to the other side of the basement. I'm looking at plans and telling everybody what to do, so that's a great sign. Boom, 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 kapow. Oh, I love editing. Anyway, so same deal. There's basically what happens on this part is there's the mechanical room in the background. You've got this big area they framed out, which houses 2 bathrooms. I mean, it's the pool bath. So it's got an area, when I do the walkthrough, I'll show you. It's got an area where you walk in. It's got like a changing area, an area for lockers if you want to keep some stuff in there. And then you walk down a little hallway, or you can walk in from the rec room. So you can walk in from outside, or you walk in from the rec room, and then you can go into one of 2 bathrooms. So there's full baths, sink, toilet, showers. And this area will stay with upstairs. The bathrooms are getting tile over top of where we stamped, except for the half bath. But down here, it's going to stay like this. We're doing wall tile as well. So it's meant to be, you're coming in from the pool, you're wet, water can get everywhere. We're doing some stuff. We mixed when we did the coating on the concrete, this non-slip. There'll be racks that have towels in them, and, it's a purpose-built space for people being over swimming. I mean, that's ultimately, obviously, what it is. And then you can access the bathroom also, if you're downstairs and you're in we're doing games or in the theater or whatever, you can go into one of the 2 bathrooms, and there you go. It's framing out for the door, as you saw them nail 2 studs together. So basically it ends up being a king stud and a jack stud. I'm not a framer by trade, but it's something like that. And then you see you've got your header over top, Yeah, you saw a guy pop in for a second. That's someone we interviewed. Like I said, he runs a bunch of crews. We interviewed him about doing my roof, but ultimately I decided that he wasn't the guy. He does really good work. He's actually he's the one who built the deck. I haven't even shown you that build over at Chris's, but you know, when it came to doing the roof, I'm just waiting on the usual guys to do it. Well, starting to shape up. Yep, so we'll be able to take all those, just go over top, which is what we planned, so that's great. Gotta decide, I think I'm going to come along through here and cut plywood to go up in there. And then cut holes and run it through, because, you know, stuff in there is gonna be whirring and making noise and everything. I think that, well, you know what? No, it just occurred to me that none of that matters, because they're going to put ceiling in here. So I really need to get in here and get all this down. That was just extra bracing we had. We were a little concerned with some stuff before the concrete pour. And then we can run all that over top. Yeah, I see some good work for James on Monday. So that's a shower, so that gets cut out. That's just in there for now. Shower there, wall goes there. This gets another stud there. Walk in here, this is another bathroom, toilet, shower, sink. And it's bigger than the bathroom I got now in the farmhouse. Oh, that's ridiculous. But it's cool, I guess. This side's pretty much done. They asked me, like I thought they would, over here. Had a few questions for how this was going. So honestly, I don't know why they didn't just go ahead and finish this, but they got to finish this. Then that'll be out of the way. Yeah. Woo! Well, it's getting there. All right, so you walk in the bathroom, kapow. So I had that whole bank of panels over that stuff, but that's most of it. So these two columns got built into that wall. This goes into the mechanical room. So we got to do some cleanup. All this. Pipes for that, you see the release agent got on it, but these pipes, we go ahead and bring them up and run them through the middle, because that wall over there is the one I'm planning on doing all the pumps on. Guess if I put them on here, it would make it what, 30 feet, 40 feet shorter of runs, which would mean more efficient, blah, blah, blah. So I could do it here. We'll see. I need to measure that and put it in my CAD program and see what it looks like. That's what we want to do. Anyway, this is, I said, the main area. So the lockers down this wall. Racks or something to hang towels. This is the doorway that takes you, so you can get in here from the rec room as well. So you come in this area, then you got a bathroom in front of you or a bathroom to the right. Sink will be here, toilet, shower, toilet, shower, and sinks right here. So there you go. So we got room, plenty of room in here. So maybe we'll do like a little bench or something too, in both of them. And we put ceiling in this one. So we'll come in here, like those are my pipes that go up to the other units upstairs, which we can cut those shorter. So I've got room to make my turn and go across there. So these are the three columns that we do see, 1, 2, 3. So originally all this over here was storage as well. But we're going to either brick or rock around these is the thought process, and then put a table, tabletop built around it. Let's see, those aren't a big deal. That one will be wrapped. And we got this one, which we were always going to have. That gets an arch. And they're over there finalizing the ceiling. There's the ceiling for the hallway. I'm standing in the pantry. That's where our other manifold location is for the basement. It's that den. That turned out pretty good. It's definitely really wide. We get in here with a broom this weekend. Do some cleanup. Again, we got ceiling in here. So here's the bathroom. Originally, there was a door here to go into the bathroom and not from the hallway. But Jackie wanted more wall space in here rather than a door. So you go through that door. And then up in the hallway. Come in here. Shower. Toilet. That's why the door's there, so you came in and the toilet would be just right there. But now, so this isn't going to be a door that swings in or out. It's a barn door. So, toilet, shower, sink, lots of dead space, like right here. Yeah, that probably should have been the toilet, and the sink should have been here. That's 100% what should have happened. Yeah. Okay. Guess the door's gonna be here, so we didn't feel like we had room for a sink. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, that's why that happened. Well, you know what? Nothing in the world. Actually, it'll work out because our planned use for this space, sink over there, leaves room for like a wardrobe or something, holds a bunch of towels and all that kind of stuff, which is needed in this room. So whatever, works out. Right? Right? Good to go? And here's the other mechanical room. Hey, hey, hey. Cut that out. All right, look at that, huh? Well, definitely need to hurry up and get back up here and pressure wash this one more time and do the texture enhancer and clear it and everything. Well, I know this was a little bit of a long video. Hope everybody enjoyed it. It's been a long time coming. They've got some punch list stuff over at the major project. So they'll be over there the next couple days. And then they'll be up here. They'll probably go ahead and do this area since it's already got ceiling. Go ahead and do that. And then we probably will not, we'll have to, it'll be whatever they do. I don't think we'll frame the rest of this until they start getting the roof on and we know what they want to do. So they'll be back, and we'll be, next framing video will be, or should be, starting to put the roof on. Yes, the roof. It's so great. And yeah, get into the next stuff. I've got video content to catch y'all up on the major project. And got some other stuff too. I need to, I'll probably go out there tomorrow. The windows are going in it, so I'll probably get some of that on video. And there's lots of stuff going on. So appreciate you tuning in. Appreciate you watching, and see you in the next one.